everybody, welcome back to Esther's Eden. You know, it's a good job I'm small enough that I can fit inside a low tunnel. There are so many peppers in here, I can't reach them without getting in. You guys, it is officially September 3rd and we have not had a frost yet. I'm so excited, but it's coming, and so I think we better do some harvesting. So I thought we'd get this broccoli harvested. While it will be fine for the frost, it just really needs to be picked. So I'm gonna get on with it and pick this. Yay, that's a pretty good amount. I'm pretty excited about that. Look at all of that. We really like broccoli. I think there's probably only, I don't know, less than half a dozen plants right here. I do have a few more scattered out throughout the garden, but not that many. I think we could still have more. If I froze this, I would definitely, this would not be enough, but because we are very limited on freezer space, I have not frozen any broccoli, so we usually just eat this fresh in salads and as a side dish and all that good stuff. Recently I went down to a place called Walla Walla, Washington, which is known for their giant sweet onions. I didn't buy any onions because I grew Walla Walla onions this year, and I'll show you one here in a second. It is huge. We're still waiting on it for the top to fall over, but I just found it under there, and then I found this little guy who had kind of slipped through the cracks when we were harvesting. Some of the onions grew so tiny, and then other ones grew really, really big. Walla Walla was a really fun place to visit. It is not only known for their onions, but also their vineyards. We didn't get to visit any vineyards. It was very hot, like over 100 degrees when we were there. So we stayed close and just did wine tasting within the town. It was really fun. But I would love to know if you guys know of Walla Walla, if you have any particular vineyards that are your favorite. Because I have several friends who are going to be going soon. So if you have any tips or tricks on Walla Walla, please leave it in the comments for me down below. Here is that Walla Walla sweet onion I'm growing. This one is just one of many, and you can see it's just absolutely massive. They get way bigger than this one, but here's another one right here. These are really good size for in my garden. I'm pretty excited about them. So we'll pick them as soon as these stems fall over. That's really what we're just waiting on. I maybe should have gotten out here a little earlier. We have squash. This is literally the first harvest I have ever had off this farm like this, you guys. I have officially cracked the code, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait because, to be honest, I can't wait to share with you what I have learned, so that next year, if you live in a cold climate like this, you can have success too. I think that's the last one for today. I won't be surprised if we missed any, but I'm gonna call this good, I think. I have no idea what I'm gonna do with all of this. My freezer's already full. I might call my friend because hers didn't do very well, so I might see if she wants some. Yeah, this is really exciting and a little crazy. this is my harvest so far. Look at all of these. Come on in, squeeze in, get close. There we go. See, that's not too bad in here. There is a lot of gross bugs up there though. Ugh. If you guys are looking for a pepper to grow up here in the north or somewhere cold, this is the pepper plant you want to grow. Look at all these peppers. So this is a lemon drop pepper. They're very spicy, and I just harvested that plant. This one's coming up next. Look at them all. Do not ask me how or why I have this many on here again. I really tried to grow poblanos and cayenne and jalapeno, and this is all I've got. So I don't know what happened. I do have lots of cayennes though. Look at all those. So, I don't know how this happens. Wow, look at my special hair. This is harvest hair. I don't know how it happens. It's happened like every year for the last 3 or 4 years now. Seriously, I can't help but growing all these lemon drops. I don't know. I don't even remember planting lemon drop peppers this year. The lemon drop peppers do make an amazing properly fermented hot sauce, so you can do that. I will I don't have a recipe to share with you because I kind of combined a whole bunch of recipes last year to kind of get what I wanted. So if I perfect that later, I'll bring that down in the description box, but it's not going to be there today. But the other thing you can do is you can pickle these peppers. It is really hot in here. And there's a big bee. I'm going to finish picking and I'll be back. This is why we grow lemon drop peppers. Look at this crazy harvest. There's so many. It's crazy. What'd you pick, Maggie?
Flowers.
Ooh, what kind of flowers do you have?
I have some flowers and I don't know what these.
Blackeyed Susan.
Blackeyed Susan.
What are you gonna do with your flowers?
Put them in water.
Oh, that's right. Why do you do that?
What?
What happens if you don't put them in water?
You die.
Oh, sad. I love you. You're so beautiful.
Thanks.
You gonna go put them in the house now?
Yeah, but
okay.
Can you open the door because I have 4 hands?
Yes, I can open the door.
This was so beautiful.
I think it is beautiful. Okay, as I was saying, it's getting very humid out here. I think we might get some rain, actually. It is kind of a gray sky today. And I think we are supposed to get some thunder showers this afternoon, but it's very smoky. So this is why I was in the hoop house, because it's really difficult getting through these guys. I maybe didn't think that through entirely when I planted this, but I also maybe didn't think we were going to get this many peppers. So yeah, that's what I get for, oh, there's lots of broccoli over here too. Okay, let's get this too. So while I pick broccoli, I will tell you about the lemon drop peppers. So I grew them because they said they had a clean citrusy heat that was good for all kinds of stuff. So after I started growing them, and a couple years ago, like I said, I have had such good success with it, and so many peppers, I started looking into making hot sauce because it takes quite a lot of peppers to make hot sauce. So I personally don't really love heat, but my husband does and a lot of our friends do. So I went ahead and grew them. Well, in our greenhouse, the plants grew probably 3 feet tall and so many peppers. So they were very excited. For Christmas, I made them a homemade fermented hot sauce. They absolutely loved it. I even loved it. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so excited. This is so pretty. I have to show you these. Wow. Anyway, before I show you this, I think this is the most stunning thing I have seen in my garden. This is really pretty. It's in the top 10 for sure. Anyway, so I just made that for them. And of course, because I grow so many peppers, not for me, but for my husband and his friends, like there is no, like this takes up so much of my greenhouse space. I have got to start like figuring out how to like heat better. So I drink cayenne pepper and vinegar and lemon in water pretty much every day in the winter. Keeps me warm, keeps me healthy. You like my peacock hair here? And so I just started upping the amount of cayenne pepper in all of my drinks so that I could start tolerating heat. And then I started trying a couple of years ago, probably 2020, was when I started trying all the peppers that I was growing, and I found that my heat tolerance had changed. So if you want to change your heat tolerance for peppers, that's a good way to try it. Start small and work your way up. Cayenne tincture is way better than cayenne powder because it's not gritty. I like that a lot better. And now we make our own tincture and it's very spicy. But what I found with the lemon drop hot sauce was that it was so spicy. So you're eating it and the flavor is just like incredible and so lemony, so citrusy. And then, but it's so hot. And so you're just eating it and you're like, it's so good, I can't stop. But you're like sweating and yeah, anyway, maybe it doesn't sound fun to you, but I dare you to try it. So now, before I pick the rest of the peppers, I have to show you this. First of all, this is just absolutely adorable. I love when bees are here. This is a hollyhock and it's very pretty, but that's not what I want to show you. Look at this Blackeyed Susan. It's like frosted with orange. It's so pretty. Hi. I have something to show you.
Uh-oh. What?
Come over here. Okay, actually we have to go all the way around. I picked you some peppers.
Good grief, they didn't even look that loaded the other night.
Here you go.
That's a lot of peppers.
What are we gonna do with your peppers?
We're gonna pickle them.
You want pickled peppers?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want hot sauce again or just pickled?
Maybe hot sauce again, but more pickled.
Okay.
Because I go through that a lot more.
Yeah, you do. Okay. Sweet.
Wow. It's a lot of peppers.
How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick?
All of them.
So there was some pepperoncinis in there. This hoop house is not really as productive. We had some issues with the cats, but I think we may still end up getting some more peppers soon. If you're not familiar, this is called blossom end rot. Normally it happens because there's no calcium in the, like a lack of calcium in the ground. So I didn't really have this problem on very many, so I didn't do anything to amend this. Normally I would add Epsom salts very deep in the hole so that it takes a while for the tomato roots to reach it. So by the time it's time for this problem to happen, it's covered. Some people put an aspirin in the ground, some people do fish emulsion, or there's all kinds of things you can do. I don't usually have an issue with this, but like I said, I think this is just the only one that really had it. So, oh well. Actually, it looks like it was that whole group of tomatoes right there that ended up with that problem, and I think that's because this one plant actually had quite a lot of issues on it. But I'm not seeing any of those same issues. By lifting it off the ground, it's really helped it out. So I'm just gonna toss these. It won't be a big deal. Let's go see if there's any more tomatoes. So these don't have blossom end rot. They have another issue. But because these plants were laying on the ground for so long, I think that's what's going on. These look like they just like are bruised or something. Bug damage maybe. Now we are expecting a frost very soon, and I mean it really could be any day at this point. So I'm gonna basically just start picking anything that started turning. I'm just gonna start picking it because I would rather have it. There's a couple more, and I know tonight will be warm. So I'll probably leave these guys. Actually, I think I'll pick these ones, and then I'll leave the rest of them to keep on ripening. But these, this is not a blossom end rot problem because it's coming all the way up and it doesn't quite look like that. This, I think, is just a bruised, damaged fruit because these plants were laying down for so long. That's our tomato harvest for today. I'm so excited. You guys, I am so excited about this giant harvest. This is amazing. All these pepperoncinis, which all these, it's a handful, okay? I get it, but I'm excited about my handful of pepperoncinis and my giant pile of squash and those huge kohlrabi. It is so much fun when you get to harvest like this. I don't usually get to harvest like this kind of a harvest out of the outside. I usually only get this out of my greenhouse. So I'm really, really excited about today. And I'm excited I get to share it with you. So we're gonna keep on picking other stuff. We'll probably be adding these nasturtiums continually to our salads. And I still have beans I have to go find, but it's getting really hot out here. And I wanna get this put into the cool house before it starts to wilt, especially the broccoli and the kohlrabi. We've been eating a lot of kohlrabi lately, so I'm gonna see if one of my friends want it. She really likes kohlrabi. So I just want to take a second to talk about abundance. This is a harvest from just this afternoon. This is by no means all of the produce that's in the garden that I have. And I don't even have the biggest garden or the most productive garden. Like, if me and other people worked solely in the garden and our goal was production, we would have even more than this. And I want to encourage you guys to not get caught up in the headlines and what's going on where everybody says that there's food shortages. Right now is the time of harvest, and most gardeners have this and more. Even in a tiny little balcony garden, especially in a warm climate, I highly suggest, if you would like to get out of the fear and poor mindset and mentality, to grow a garden or start a homestead or make friends with people who already are doing it, even if you don't want to, and just go help for an afternoon. Like, this is literally the very first tomato harvest that we have had. This is the first harvest. I mean, we've picked like a handful of little cherry tomatoes. I have so many more more tomatoes that I'm gonna be picking, and I have a friend, she's gonna come and help me make salsa, and she's gonna take home some jars of salsa, and I'm gonna have jars on my shelf of salsa, and as well as other things. What I am saying by being surrounded by all of this beauty, look at this, so amazing, is that, you guys, we don't have to live subscribed to the headlines. We can live in this amazing abundance, and there's enough here. This is not enough to support our family for an entire year. If that's all we had to live on was this, but we're getting pretty close. And yes, it's a lot of work. It really is. But we don't have fear. We don't live in fear. We don't live in a poor mindset. We live in an abundant mindset. And I'm telling you guys, if you haven't jumped on that, if you haven't jumped into the abundance mindset yet, come on in. It is so good, and this is so amazing. Every year since we have lived in this house, save for a couple, like 2020 was one of them, and I can't remember if we did it last year or not, but anyway, most of the years that we have lived in this house, we have had a harvest party. We always have it right after elk season. And the reason we have a harvest party, which almost always falls on Halloween, and that's just simply because I don't want to have elk to be cutting up, hanging in the shop when I'm trying to have a bunch of company. That doesn't work out very well. So anyway, now you can see the pretty beans. We choose to have a harvest party because of this right here. This is why we have a harvest party, to say thank you, to celebrate with our friends and our family, to eat really good homemade food. That's the time of year. I always choose to make homemade donuts. Like, we're talking old-fashioned, fried, amazing donuts. That's right. This is happening all the time, all across our nation right now, and probably all across the world. There is so much to be harvested, and if everybody grew a garden, even a tiny little backyard garden, and not everyone could have animals, but you traded for different things, we would be living in abundance. We don't have to subscribe to the poor mentality and the lack mentality that the big corporations are handing out. You know what? We don't have to sell our farmland. We can value our farmland again. And this is why, because this is such good food. I saw a video that was talking about baby food containing really high levels of heavy metals. I don't know about you guys, but that just makes me super angry. And that's one of the reasons our children never ate baby foods. Now, I didn't know that they contained heavy metals at that time. It's not very surprising to me. But we chose to do like the baby-led weaning, if you want to call it that. But basically, if we ate it, they ate it. And I just chopped it up super tiny, or mashed it up, or whatever, like fed them soft foods to start with, and they did fine. Why are we allowing these big companies to tell us what is good for us? Why are we allowing these big companies to put us into a fear mentality? Why are we letting these big companies put heavy metals into our baby food? Why are we letting them do that? We don't have to. We can take our food system back, and we can say, we're not going to stand for this anymore. We don't want that kind of junk in our baby food. And do you want to know how you can tell them that this is not okay? You can tell them by voting with your dollar. That means don't buy food from big companies. Don't buy food from companies that don't have your best interest. Don't buy food from companies that lie to you. Right now, this is why I'm putting this out there right now. Right now, fruit stands all across our nation. Right now, harvests are taking place all across our nations. Right now, there are backyard gardeners who are super overwhelmed with gigantic tons of, like, these are tiny compared to some. I've seen them to like this big, the size of my husband's arm, huge zucchini. If that's not abundance, and that's not an overabundance, I don't know what is. So if you want to take your food out of a big corporation's hand and you want to take the power away from them, that's how you're going to do it. That is the way to do it. I have not spoken out against this kind of thing other than in very small groups of people and with my close friends and family. And the reason I haven't done that is because I don't really like conflict. But you know what? The time for being silent is over. You don't have to be okay with garbage food. It's not even food. Half the stuff they're selling in a grocery store, you guys, it's a product that is purposefully made and created and engineered specifically to make you want to eat it and want to eat a lot of it. You don't have to. And the way that you stop is you can stop right now. You go down and you start buying the things. And I know it seems hard. I know it seems expensive, but if you want the cheapest price, you're going to get the cheapest price right now while people are like, help. Like, how do I get rid of the zucchini? You can say, I'll take it. I want it. I want the zucchini. Like all of this zucchini right here, I already have filled up my freezer with zucchini, you guys. Like I have bags and bags and bags of zucchini. My kids are going to hate zucchini bread by the end of the winter. We're going to get real creative. Zucchini, spaghetti, sweet chocolate zucchini bread. Have you guys tried that? Eli, you should tell them.
Good.
They can't see you. You have to come over here, buddy.
It mostly tastes like chocolate.
It mostly tastes like chocolate because it has cocoa powder in it, and it's delicious. And not that healthy for you. But that's a good way to transition. Thank you for that, Eli. See, if you don't like zucchini, which my kids don't like zucchini, you guys, but they're putting it into something that they can make themselves. They can pull out in the wintertime. They can pull out when mommy's busy and they have a nice, good home cooked breakfast. If you're trying to get your family or your husbands to like zucchini and they just don't like it, zucchini bread's the way to go, especially Eli's favorite chocolate zucchini bread. But anyway, I'm not going to continue rambling on too much. I just want to give you guys hope. Like, if you're not a part of the abundance mentality, you guys, it's way more fun to live this way. It's way more fun to live with a whole table full of produce. Now, I realize that if you guys have not already started your gardens, you're not going to have access to this in this way from your own farm or your own balcony or your own pots or whatever. But you do have friends and you do have the ability to go to a fruit stand, to go seek out farmers, to go seek out friends who have gardens and offer your help. Say, hey, could I help you weed? Could I help you harvest? Could I help you process? To be honest, canning alone, standing in a kitchen, chopping up fruits and vegetables for hours on end and then standing where it's hot, steamy liquid for a whole day or more days or days, day after day is really kind of lonely. I can't say boring, but it's mentally boring. So if you have a friend to do it with you, honestly, could we use every tomato in the garden that I planted? Yeah, we can use all of that. It's still not even enough. But considering that my friend is willing to come and help me can up all of the stuff, that is a offer I'm not going to refuse. That sounds awesome. Hanging out with a friend, getting work done, eating good tomatoes. We're probably going to make bruschetta because that's delicious. Have you seen Julie and Julia? Yum. Oh, and when I was in Walla Walla, you guys, I have to show you this. I bought myself a little present. It's elderberry balsamic vinegar. Seriously, this stuff is amazing.
Is it sweet?
It is. It's super sweet. Like, you could put this in a drink or
like
you
coffee?
could... Ew, no, not coffee. No, like, you could pour it on ice cream. We tried a lot of this stuff while we were gone. Like, we tried so much of this stuff while we were in the kitchen store that we maybe made our stomachs hurt a little bit. And the next time we went, we maybe brought our own bread. So anyway, I just want to encourage you guys, get out there, go find this stuff now before it is very expensive in the grocery stores. And the flavor that you're going to get from a fruit stand or direct from a farmer or direct from a friend's garden or whatever it's not even comparable to anything you're even going to find in a grocery store, because, and this is something I'm going to talk to you guys about more and more through the winter, because you're going to be starting to plan your gardens, right? You're going to plan your gardens, be crazy plant people like me. I want to talk to you about choosing correct varieties, and I'm really excited about teaching you guys that. The grocery stores or the farmers that grow for a grocery store, they have to choose varieties that are not for flavor. Their store ability and their shipping and how much the plant produced. Those are the top 3 things that they're choosing the seed variety for. Those don't taste good. They don't taste good, and they pick them before they're even ripe. So you never get to taste what that would have tasted like, even if it was able to reach its full potential, which it's not usually, because hard green fruit ships better than soft ripe fruit. So anyway, just some stuff for you guys to chew on while you get to look at this beautiful abundance. And I'm really excited. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep this all to myself. Are we, Eli? No, we're going to share this with our friends and our family, and we're going to eat it and we're going to can it and put it away for winter, which then of course we will still continue sharing with our friends and family. So that's one of my favorite parts about having a big garden, is being able to share food and eat good food with friends. Yeah, I dare you guys, if you have not tried garden grown anything, doesn't matter what it is, if you haven't tried a tomato fresh off the vine, a potato straight out of the ground, well, please don't eat it straight out of the ground, gross. I mean cooked, fresh, like picked and brought inside, washed and then cooked. If you haven't tried that, If you haven't tried fresh broccoli, oh my gosh, the flavor, it just is so different. In fact, I thought I picked a little tiny, I did, he's so cute. Look, this little guy. You can hardly even see him, he's so cute.
Can I
You're gonna eat him?
it?
I
No.
did. You want one?
No, I don't like tomatoes.
My kids don't like tomatoes, they're missing out. But anyway, I'm all done rambling. I just wanted to throw that
Your breath
out there
smells
to you
like
guys.
Tomato now. No.
Anyway, join me in abundance. It's a good life. And I think I'm also gonna go use some salve because I have huge bug bites and rash all over my hands. And yes, I had to add this. My husband told me I should probably put this on because I'm having some issues with my elbow. I don't know what I did. I'm not surprised. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today for this harvest video, and I guess I'll see you guys again real soon.